So I just wanted to do a little video in light of the Real Estate News Exchange's article on the foreign buyer ban coming up for renewal in 2027. So there's a lot of debate in that article if the foreign buyer ban really does anything for Canadian affordability. The main thing that it points to is that only 1% of Canadian home ownership is owned by foreign buyers. Now, as it relates to Victoria, we might be slightly higher than that, given that we're so close to the border, and we do rely quite heavily on American tourism, cruise ships and stuff like that, and a lot of people end up wanting to buy here. Personally, as a realtor, I hear from Americans all the time that don't even know about the foreign buyer ban. They come over here, love it, want to buy a house, they can't. So that's something to kind of keep an eye on. Maybe select markets can be exempt from the foreign buyer ban, I don't know. But I don't think that that's necessarily the solution to the home affordability crisis that we have here. To be honest with you, I think that the best course of action, and it mentions this in the article, is to allow more foreign investment and push for more foreign investment into these developments that are coming. The best way to knock back demand is just more and more supply if we can allow for it. Now, the big problem with that is nobody's buying this new supply. We've got all this new housing stock that's coming, but with the GST, it makes more sense to just, buy something that was built in, 2020 or 2021 or something where it's a resale type product rather than a pre-sale. There's so many pre-sale opportunities across the city here that are just remaining stagnant. And buyers look to that extra 5%. It's like, is it really worth it? Compared to something where, somebody's only lived there for 3 years or whatever it might be. They've already paid the GST on it and they don't have that extra 5% to pay. It really pushes people away. So if the federal government wants to do something serious about home affordability, scrap GST. First-time buyers, there's obviously exemptions, but across the board, that's what's really slowing things down, because this new supply, from the get-go, they're at a disadvantage against the rest of the market. And then secondly, if you really want to fuel investment at the provincial level, something needs to be done about the property transfer tax. That's making a big difference as well. And I think it's really holding back a lot of investors from creating more rental opportunities for people. So at the end of the day, I think the government's their own worst enemy as far as making fixes to this whole thing. Is the foreign buyer ban really the solution, lifting that in 2027? If they lift it, they may say that, but to be honest with you, it's not really going to have any impact.